Okay, so V. This is for you, March 14th, 2015. I was preparing your cards, and it was just like, man, I was getting pulled in so deep, like you wouldn't believe. And just, I mean, I'm a little overwhelmed with it. It's a new thing for me. Um, these cards are brand new. I really wanted to get my hands on them. It's like, you ever had a deck when you just pick it up and it's like, man, like cool. Um, but it has sort of a certain layout here. I'm going to kind of try to make it brief. I don't even know how much time I can upload to YouTube. If not, there might be another one out there for some reason if it's too long. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, in the photo that I'm providing, I'm kind of trying to give you a good sense of what's going on here. The two cards at the bottom, the Seeker on the left, that's you, and the Spirit. Okay, that's the companion card. That would be all of the guides, angels, animal spirits, ancestors, family members. When I was laying your cards out, I wanted to put my little heart quartz there because I just felt like the heart was important there in bridging that gap between the inner, outer, and spirit, just all of that stuff. I just wanted to lay it there just for that little added extra heart chakra energy there. And I'm going to try to be as organized as possible. I can't, as possible as I can be with this. So if you look on the left, I'm just going to kind of go over the stuff with you. It's basically supposed to look like a hand, okay? Like if you had your hand out in front of you and you laid it flat on the table, the pinky is the first cave there. So we have the Cave of Ice, the Cave of Winds, the middle finger there is the Cave of Hearth Fires, the Cave of Rivers, and then the Cave of Earth. These are kind of like, I guess, Lenormand houses. The caves don't change. Those positions do not change. The cards that you put in those caves, those obviously are the ones that change. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to explain the best I can. I'm not going to try to figure out your reading for you. That's not up to me. This is for you. Anything that comes up here is for you. I don't have to understand it. And I think I need to stop making myself think I need to understand it. Because it's not for me. You know what I mean? It's just not for me. And I just want to be a vessel and stop trying to analyze. I have problems with that. Like that's just my way. I'm like, but why? Well, it doesn't matter why. It's not for me. So here we go. This whole entire deck is about, first of all, helping you to connect with any of your guides you might have. It offers a lot of insights on just areas that might need work. It offers guidance on perhaps like those who are around you who might be trying to help and you may not be aware of who they are. So let's just start it, okay? In the Cave of Ice, which would be represented by your pinky finger, okay, you have the Ancestor of Guidance. The Cave of Ice is this is considered the place of manifestation, cleansing, purification, and access to blessings. What's interesting is that you had the Ancestor of Guidance in there, okay? And that card is actually the Stag, all right? So I'll talk more on that later. What's cool about this is when I think of a Cave of Ice, I think of things that are kind of forgotten, okay? When I think of ice. So I think what this is here is like, hey, we're here. And what you have right now there is the Stag, and it's an Ancestor of Guidance. So the Cave of Ice basically is talking about, like I said, the manifesting, cleansing, purification, but also the Cave of Ice represents the unstoppable things that are just going to happen no matter what happens. A lot of times in our lives there are things that we think, oh, if I would have done this, if I would have done that, if only there are things in our lives that are going to happen. These are already written, okay, these stories. there are things we can just absolutely not change. They are inevitable. Okay. I think important here is just finding the balance between knowing, okay, could I have done anything differently here? And then there are the things that you do have in your control. So when I see the Cave of Ice, this is showing me that there are long, deep things here. And you may not... Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase this. Okay. For you in your mending and stabilizing things that are going on between like what you can control and what you can't control, the stag here is in that position. Okay. So the stag is going to be an animal totem for you to work on in your manifestations, or for you to call on in your manifestations. I'm going to kind of like look, what I'm going to do here is I want to look in the book here, because I want to tell you, I don't want to miss anything for you. So I want to look in the book and tell you all about the stag. Okay. And try not to fumble. I feel so scattered and I don't know why. It's like, man, this laying these cards out opened up like something for me, even just like, it's like, whoa, I don't know why I'm having like this, like, why would I have this moment now of like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, it stirred something in me. So anyway, I'm trying to be organized, but I'm scattered anyway. I have ADD. I'm not even, I'm not going to lie. I have ADD, but I swear to God, I'm trying to do the best for you. So here we go. Okay. So this ancestor of guidance, the stag. Okay. This is, a guide that guides you on your steps as you embark on your life path. The stag and its branching antlers is one of the most powerful images to be found on cave walls. Okay, it represents the all-important act of guidance. In an ancestral context, this guidance is far more profound than merely showing a physical path. It is the guidance of our footsteps on an inner journey of the spirit, orienting us to the right direction and ensuring that we take no wrong turnings or decisions. The ancestor of guidance oversees the steps we choose on our path through life, counsels us from, just the spirit realm as a whole. Okay. So with the stag, there's profound wisdom there. There's a lot of direction here. Also, it's kind of advising maybe to seek new ways. And the stag is kind of one of like a family kind of feeling. And you might want to just look into it. Look more into the stag. Like I said, I don't want to try to be too thinking in this. It's for you ultimately, and I think you'll figure it out. I think you're kind of just remember, you can't be on the wrong path, V. In case you've ever wondered, and in case you just need to be reminded, you cannot get it wrong. Even when things go bad, even when things are hard and difficult and rocky, and I think a lot of times we tend to go, oh man, I did something wrong. What am I doing wrong? I did the wrong thing. Just anything, any of that stuff that voice, that ego voice that tries to tear us down, it's a liar. So just remember, any voice that does not uplift you is a liar. Okay? That ego voice that comes in and tries to tear you down, you did this, okay. So you get that. Okay. So, and we're looking at the second one is the Cave of Winds. Okay? The Cave of Winds is the place of unrealized possibilities. What's interesting is that you have the Dancer of Inspiration in the Cave of Winds. That shows me that you have some things maybe going on inside of you that are really, really inspiring you. And it could even be like a physical project, new ways of reading, maybe new divination practices. I'm not sure exactly what it would be for you, but this is about newness. This is becoming like You know how like when you get something new and it's like you're like a little kid, you know, and it's like, oh, this is so fun and new. This is what's going on here for you. This is also about transitions. So, and also just even like literally to me, dancer of inspiration just sounds like, and I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember a lot of my readings. It seems like I have brought up dancing for you before in the past. Okay? And I can't remember. I'm sorry. Forgive me if it's not. Seems like I feel like I did bring that up for you in the past. But this is inspiration. And just remember that little spark of inspiration is your soul talking. Any of those joyful things that we pine for and yearn for, that is the soul's call to express, you know, to express itself through us. So I think you're going to have something new. Something new is going to come up that's just going to be like, hit you like a ton of bricks. Like, oh man, why did I think of this before? Something, okay? And I think dancing for you is going to be a way for it to kind of release a little bit. I mean, I know I talk weird and I think weird, you know, things, and it's hard for me to articulate sometimes. But I think dancing somehow is going to like free up some of the confused energies that might be kind of going, what is it, should I do, or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I think somehow even just dancing, if we were looking like literal here, is going to be something that's going to help you release and make things more clear for you to see. And actually, you know, maybe start some new projects on something, whatever. Okay. So what was interesting with the next card in the Cave of Hearthfires is that that's the Dancer of Beginnings. God, it's gorgeous. They're beautiful images. Beautiful, beautiful images. The Cave of Hearthfires, which I thought was so cool, because I always have my central card as like my focus card. What's neat here in your card, in my focus card area, is the beginning, the Dancer of Beginnings, okay? And this is the Hearthfires. The Hearthfires are about home, protection and warmth, magic, and gifts of spirit. Song, dance, joy, transformation, and change. Power and its dangers. This is the present right now. So that's the card, you know, that's the sort of presently what's going on. And so the Cave of Hearthfires, I'm going to go to you and tell you about the Dancer of Beginnings. Gosh, I feel like I'm tongue-tied. Sometimes it flows so easy. Sometimes I feel very, very tongue-tied, and I don't know why I'm tongue-tied unless it's just like the energy around the house or something. I'm just kind of, you know, trying not to bug my daughters. And but also, like I said, man, just getting your cards out, just, I don't know, it went somewhere in me. It's just weird. I can't even explain it. Okay. So, I'm going to read to you what the Dancer of Beginnings card actually says, okay? It says, I am the Dancer of Beginnings. I dance in the spirit of fresh directions. That kind of goes back to me with the other one, the Dancer of Inspiration. And call upon myself to embrace the divine beings who send their blessings upon all new enterprises. Dance with me to become uplifted, shaken from stale routines, and raised up beyond what it is to be human. Divine fires fill the air around me. Move forward with me and look at the world with a renewed understanding. I catch fire from the flame of longing and initiate the accomplishment of dreams. So something else that poked out to me, like stuck out to me here, is just the fire. Fire might be something you might want to be working with, maybe in meditations, cleansing rituals, whatever it is. Just that the fire came up here with the Dancer of Beginnings, I think is kind of a key element. And then the dancer here, I mean, like, just looking at the picture, like, if you can see her, she's raising her hands to the universe, basically. And she's willing to be like, you know what, hit me, basically. She's not closed. She doesn't have her hands folded, you know, nicely in front of her. She's boldly open to what's to come. And I know that can be kind of scary. really scary. Change is scary. But just try to remind yourself to be open to it and trust your path. Trust it. Let things unwind. Try not to drag your feet. Try not to get ahead of yourself. Just be open. And it says here that the Dancer of Beginnings represents a transpersonal energy that bursts out of the shadows. That goes back to me with the Dancer of Inspiration and the Cave of Winds and all that. The Dancer can refresh our visions of ourselves and of our lives, helping us to see beginnings where perhaps we once saw endings, and to breathe new life and possibility, even into the familiar and routine. Okay, so here we have the next one. You have in the Cave of Rivers. I like the Cave of Rivers because when I think of water, I think of going with the flow. And it kind of seems like, you don't want like a stagnant pool of water. The Cave of Rivers is indicating going with the flow. And what you have in the Cave of Rivers is the Shaman of Tradition. Sorry, my eyes are horrible. So the Cave of Rivers basically is about emotions, okay, boundaries and divisions, journeys, time passing, direction, just life. I mean, water that's running is alive, So what I'm saying here is, like, I'm trying to organize this. Just let go of the oars a little bit. You cannot control everything. And the more we try to control the outcomes of the perceived, the outcomes of how we think things should be versus what they actually are, causes a lot of suffering. A lot of suffering. It's hard work. It's really, really hard work to try to control the natural flow of things. And the reason it's hard work is because it's really unnatural to try to just prevent things from happening. And it will be hard until we kind of just let go of the oars here. So what you have showing up there in the Cave of Rivers is the Shaman of Tradition. Sorry, gosh, I can't read because my eyes are horrible. I'm half blind, and I know this is like the most kind of unorganized way that I've done. And it's like, if I don't just do this, I'm never going to do this. So I'm okay. I'm fumbling. It's okay. It has nothing to do with you or anything. It's just me trying to give it to you right. And so you have the Shaman of Tradition there. The Shaman of Tradition. Gosh, if you just look, I could get lost in these images. Like if you really just look at them, like if you saw them, and like if the cards were in front of you. You would see what I mean. The cards, they're like they feel so wise. I don't, now I'm like, man, I want to look into more of this. I want to go look into the, more about the cave drawings and stuff just in general. Okay, so with the Shaman of Tradition, this says, I am the Shaman of Tradition. I burrow into the deepest memories of the land to uncover truth and bring it to the surface, flame lit by the consciousness of all who love life. No matter what you are seeking, I can find a tradition that matches your dreams and aspirations. I stand before you, holding aloft the energies of the inner worlds and bringing these forces to bear upon everything you set out to accomplish. So with the Shaman of Tradition being here, this is saying, I don't know about your ethnicity or whatever. To me, this is like a sacred ritual here that maybe is being indicated for you to maybe ask your guides or something about. What sort of ritual right now is something that's going to help you see clearer, hear clearer, just whatever's going to bring understanding for you, whether, if it's like cleansing, grounding, protection. I think it's saying here, find a really good solid way. And I think it needs to be daily, actually, especially, with readers, and you're a reader too. We are like sponges, and if we're not careful, we will soak up every little stray energy out there. And I think of like the energy cords as like heat-seeking missiles is what I call them. And they're not always intelligent either. They're not always just like having this intelligent thought of, I'm just gonna like seek and destroy. I think sometimes they're just looking for a host. These energy cords, they want to stay alive, and so they're going to plug in wherever they can. Okay, so if we take it back to the rivers thing and letting things go, flow and go, and letting go of the oar and everything, the oars, I think this is also saying that there's some ritual here that you can be using to help you with that. This is about establishing good, solid practices. You know what I mean? I think just to help you daily. Just every single day. Okay. Gosh, I feel like I have to keep stopping for some reason. It's so odd. Okay, in the thumb position, that would be the thumb, you have the Cave of Earths. So the Cave of Earths is the entrance to the other world. Trials and challenges, fear, death, and initiation. Power that can manifest in the world of the seeker. Resources he or she may call upon from the realm of spirit. Breaking out of old patterns. Okay. Interesting. Because, I don't think I can kind of like go back and organize it all for you as far as like what these are all saying. But you have the Hunter of Strength in there. And the Hunter of Strength to me just speaks of remaining steadfast. You know what I mean? Because it is hard work being on this earth, really, if you think about it. Man, this is like, we are, just the fact that we chose at this time in history to be on earth, we are some tough people. A lot's going on. A lot is going on. There are so many changes. The earth is changing. The people are changing. The consciousness is changing. There are more people who are, just kind of becoming more aware. I see a lot of people are like, oh, the earth is going to hell. The earth is shit. But really, excuse my language, you have to choose to see that things are getting better. But it's tough here. It's really tough. I don't know what kind of other planets are out there. But this one, for me, it can be kind of, it's difficult just being human, I think. I guess some people have it easy, but I think, it's just difficult being human because think about it. The spirit is, so the spirit is infinite, yet here we are in this little vessel, and the vessel is limited, and I think sometimes, the body is like hitting a brick wall for the spirit. Because basically the body has to cooperate, you know what I mean? And it doesn't always. The experiences here, even though much needed and inevitable, you know, it's just not easy for the spirit, I think. So this is the Hunter of Strength. I'm going to read to you a little bit about the Hunter of Strength. I don't know, I feel so I don't know if you just have so much going on or something, because I usually don't feel so discombobulated. You know, I don't usually feel so scattered. And I'm not, you know, and it's not even, and I'm not saying it's your fault. I don't know, you know, maybe there's something I'm doing here that can maybe even help me, you know, to do this better for someone else or whatever, but I feel really pulled in like 80 different directions with you. And so, and I, you know, and I still wanted to give you all of this, but I just feel kind of pulled in so many different directions. So the Hunter of Strength says, I am Hunter of Strength. I seek the shapes and patterns of energy to find the name and nature of the strength you need. Wherever you stand in the journey of life, you require strength to empower you. Soul strength and heart strength, bone strength, and emotional strength are all part of the pattern you walk. At your side, I guide you toward all that you need and ensure that you do not overreach your native power. Okay, so in this one, it's a hunter is reaching down to tap into the strength of a great animal. Interestingly enough, it's directly across from that stag, you know, in our spread here. We too can draw strength from many places, from the inner worlds, from our family and loved ones, from the earth and the creatures with whom we share it. The Hunter of Strength seeks out the best sources of strength we need. That kind of goes back to up there when I said I think maybe you need to have a really solid like ritual or something, because this is talking about you know, the best sources of strength. And I think just the rituals and stuff that we do, and they're solid and they're not wishy-washy, I think can help a lot. So it says, while at the same time helping us to understand the nature of that strength, which is often spiritual rather than physical. Strength is a natural part of our daily lives. To make progress, we need to acknowledge where best to find it and how to recover it if it should ever be lost. To me, that's coming up here, just showing up here is like, okay, listen. It's not easy, but you got to keep doing. You got to just keep pushing. Push through, but not too fast, okay? This is about realizing your own power and that of others. This is about being able to be willing to look at your weaknesses too. You know, look at your weaknesses. But just know your strengths too. If I were to try to put all this together, there's a lot here. A lot here. Let's see. So I'm going to kind of just like leave it to you to kind of look at the things that were said here. I feel like it was kind of, you know, how I do this is that every single person I ever read for is different. Every single person's cards are going to say something different to me. And these cards aren't going to mean the same thing for everyone, you know? They're not going to mean the same thing for me. They're not going to mean the same thing for whoever else I might use them for. So this really is just you. And these cards are just perfectly for you. And I hope you get something out of it. I'm sorry I'm so discombobulated. I do not know where it's coming from. I was all gung-ho. I'm going to do these cards. And then I started opening them and I looked at them and I was like, I don't know what happened. I got just like, I went somewhere. I'm like, even now I'm going, is there something in these cards that I saw that triggered something? I don't know. Because I feel different. Like I just feel really different than I usually do in a reading. And I don't know if that's, I don't know where it's coming from, V, to be honest. I don't know where it's coming from. So anyway, I'm gonna, I guess, end it here. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask, because I don't even know what questions to address, because I don't know the cards that well. But if you want to ask something, I'm going to be providing you with a photo. You're going to have my audio, which is, by the way, all messed up. Sorry. I feel like just tell me if you have a question. I'll look at the cards again with you. I will see if I see anything. I can see them up close. I know you can't see them up close. And I think that's it. Sorry, my dog. Bella, stop. So the fire, the stag. Okay, those are two things. Bella, stop it. They sound so kind of odd, I know, but there you go. Everything's going to be alright. Everything is as it should be. It can't be anything less than perfect. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing the right thing. Let go of anything, any guilt you have about past, quote, failures and whatever it was, as far as like you did this wrong or whatever. Relationships, even as a mother, I think a lot of times that can kind of get on us, like, I don't know. Sometimes we just have guilt for these things, and guilt is not real. Guilt doesn't serve you. And so that's it. There we go. Thanks, V.